Hey everybody, Spasmodic here, and I need a little help with capturing and editing. Just before I start, this video might sound a bit off to you. I wrote some notes on my second monitor over here, so if I'm a bit slow at times and I forget how to speak English, just apologies. So, I very recently bought and built a new gaming rig. The specs will be in the description for anyone interested. So with this rig, I can easily capture 1080p footage at 60 FPS. I'm using OBS to capture, obviously, and I have Sony Vegas 13 for editing. I'm running into some problems, however, with my quality on YouTube. So these are my capture settings. Really hope I'm picking the right ones here. So through OBS, I'm capturing with a bitrate of 50,000. So 40,000 is okay for 1080p footage as far as I know, but my computer can easily handle 50,000, so there's no point to skimp on quality. So as far as I can tell, there's no issues with my capture quality. I just saw something red and started to panic for a second, but it's all good. So I've heard many conflicting reports about this downscale filter setting, which I believe is set to Bicubic by default, and I had no issues with this when I was capturing strictly at 720p on my old rig. So there's no issues with MP4, it's solid. I honestly don't know about the particulars of H.264 versus X.264. I think you achieve a different depth of color with one versus the other. I don't know if one utilizes your GPU more than your CPU. I have it set to H.264 by default, though I've been told that X.264 may be the way to go for better quality. I wouldn't mind knowing more about that. Again, the bitrate is fine. No issues with constant bitrate either. I suspect there's something to be tweaked in OBS, but I think Vegas 13 combined with YouTube may be the main issues to tackle. So, in Sony Vegas, I have a clip that I captured with my OBS settings as you saw them. 50,000 bit rate and cubic, all that stuff. So my project settings are this option. I'll just find it. This 24p. I just changed the FPS in my custom thing to 60 FPS. So originally I tried the 60i option. I've always had an aversion to the letter I immediately following a number because of bad memories with interlacing. I don't know if it matters too much, so I just set it to 24p and upped the FPS. So that's all good as far as I can tell. So when I go to my render settings, I am on main Concept AVC. I have the Internet 1080p option. I just customized it slightly. So let's see. I'm just looking through my notes here to see make sure I'm on track. The fact that I'm stalling means that I'm probably not entirely. So anyway, I have this, the maximum bit rate and the average whatnot is set to more closely match my capture settings. So I was trying out this Sony AVC. I think I actually have a preset here. But the problem is that this is actually what I was using for 720p footage, and I had no issues with it. But the problem with 1080p footage is that the bitrate in here only goes about as high as 25 million, which I believe is the equivalent to a capture bitrate in OBS of 25,000. So Sony AVC appears to render a bit faster than main Concept, but I get better video quality with main Concept. Except when I upload the rendered file to YouTube, it looks great on my computer, but on YouTube, the video comes out blurry. So I waited long after there would be any potential processing issues. It's at 1080p, 60 FPS on my channel. So the two things I'm keeping in mind here is, one, that this is just a raw clip. The only thing I have done to it is set this to disable resample. It just cuts out some of the motion blur as far as I know. So I added no effects to the clip. That will definitely help it along in terms of a crisp look. I can add color correction and sharpening and so on and so forth. But the main issue is that, to the best of my knowledge, the ideal render bitrate for YouTube at 1080p is 16 million in Sony Vegas. Again, I don't think there's any objection to capturing footage in OBS at a bit rate of 50,000. This is probably give me the best raw quality footage. There's more than likely some tinkering I can do on that end with X264 and whatnot, but I think the main problem here is YouTube. But with people uploading 4K footage to YouTube now, I don't entirely understand how my render bitrate could be an issue. It's a bit confusing for me. So yeah, I'm a little bit lost. I was never very great at any of the finer points of video capturing anyway. I think I only managed 720p recording out of sheer dumb luck. But if anyone listening has some pointers for me, I would greatly appreciate it. With my new rig here, I'm looking to get back into making videos again a bit more frequently, but I would like them to look good. Otherwise, I'm not really doing my system justice. I'll try to jot down my capture and render settings down in the description as well, alongside my specs, as best I can. They may not make much sense, but they'll be there, hopefully. So thanks a lot for listening to me stumble through all this. I really hope to hear from you guys. I'll catch you guys later.